Hello, beautiful people. I hope you're having an amazing day. It's such a beautiful day. And I wanted to share some wisdom that I've learned as a 36-year-old on a healing journey of my own. And that is that we need to free ourselves from expectation. Expectation of others, of things, especially expectations on others. And what I mean by that is when we expect people to act in a certain way or be a certain way with us, we put ourselves at risk of becoming victims, of making ourselves victims when they don't meet those expectations. It's impossible to expect anyone to be 100% perfect all the time. It's just impossible. We're all human. We all make mistakes. We're all different. And when we expect people to be perfect all of the time, and that we create this illusion, and then that illusion is broken once we realize that they're just another human being. We put ourselves in this victim mind state where we start thinking and acting in ways that just don't benefit us at all. You end up being stuck in this loop where you've created your own wounds, even if in that situation you've done nothing wrong, you've done nothing to deserve whatever treatment or whatever the situation is. You put yourself in this mind state where you become powerless to fix whatever the issue is. You make yourself a victim, and in turn, you start to think that the only way that you can feel better is if somebody fills this impossible role of being perfect in your eyes, whatever you imagine that to be. And vice versa. If you care about others' expectations of you, you give yourself the impossible task of being perfect all the time. You care only about their opinions of you, and you start to become this performer, performing a role that someone else has given you, instead of choosing who you are and who you want to be. And in both of these situations, all you're really doing is neglecting yourself. All you're really doing is abandoning yourself and what you care about, who you are as a person. You're putting that on the back burner for someone else. losing my train of thought a little bit, but the most important thing that you need to remember is that we have the power to control how we feel and how we see any situation. If someone is treating you poorly, or you're in a situation that just does not benefit you at all, you have the power to choose to leave. It doesn't matter what the other person may think or how someone else may view you. What's most important is choosing what's best for you. Because at the end of the day, you are going to be the one who has to deal with the consequences of your actions and your choices. So you are either going to choose to stay in a situation that makes you unhappy, stay around people that make you unhappy, or you can choose to let go. You can choose to let go and learn to not hold on so tightly to everything, because nothing is permanent. No matter what it is, family, friends, jobs, situations, nothing is permanent. At some point, you will have to let go of those things. It doesn't matter the situation. So you have to learn to make decisions that are best for you, because you are the one that's in control of your own happiness. You get to choose how you feel. You get to choose what your life looks like on a day-to-day basis. You don't have to make decisions based on how others feel, because that's when you're gonna be fucked up. that's when you're gonna end up depressed and not knowing who you are anymore and not knowing what you're doing with your life. And I'm not saying that anytime someone upsets you, you have to just, throw them away like a piece of trash. That's not what I'm saying. If you're in a situation or around people where you've tried to communicate, you've tried to repair, and it's just not working, you have to make the decision to either move on, or you can continue to try, but ultimately that choice is up to you. You can't see yourself as being powerless, because you do have the power. That's the truth. You do have the power at the end of the day to decide how you're going to feel every day and what you're going to allow around you, because what you allow around you is going to affect the way that you feel on a day-to-day basis. So, will you choose to be happy and at peace? Or will you choose to continue to shrink yourself and what you believe and how you feel for the sake of how others feel? I think the key is learning to truly go with the flow. And just accepting people as they are, because we can't try to change people. They are who they are. And the only way that someone will change is when they decide that they want to change. We can't force anyone to understand us, to see who we really are. We can't force people to think a certain way or act in certain ways. We just can't. We can't expect that. Just like we can't expect people to always see us for who we truly are. There will be situations, there will be times when you are completely misunderstood, or people will be determined to misunderstand you. No matter your intentions, no matter what your heart, no matter what your heart truly looks like. So you can put energy into trying to prove yourself to people and show them who you truly are over and over again. But at the end of the day, people are going to see you through the lens that they chose to see you through. You can't force someone to truly see who you really are. And eventually, you'll just keep hurting yourself, trying to prove yourself to people who don't want to understand you, who don't want to truly see you for who you are. And it took me a long time to learn that no matter what the relationship is, you just have to learn to let go for your own sake and for your own mental health. Let go with love, and just sometimes it's best to just love people from a distance, and that's okay. But at the end of the day, you will need to choose what is best for you, because you are in charge of how you feel on a day-to-day basis. You're in charge of your life. You're in charge of how it's shaped. No one else has that power, only you do. So I hope hope I've gotten my point across. I hope that this allows you to look at your beliefs and maybe discover that a certain way of thinking may not be serving you, and that simply by choosing yourself, you can start to be happier. You can find peace. You don't have to put energy into what someone else may be thinking about you or how they feel about you, because the only thing that matters is what you think of yourself. And once you realize how powerful that is, I hope that that will bring you peace. Anyway, I just wanted to share that little tidbit with you. I hope you're having a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.